Oh, hi there. Yes, what am I doing? Well, I am getting ready to play the piano. Did you know that you need to actually relax and do some little exercises, warm up? You wouldn't run a mile without warming up. With the piano, it's good just to drop your arms, let them hang, let them dangle. Feel the blood going down to your fingertips. Slowly coming up. I'd probably dangle there a couple minutes. Slowly come up. And then what you don't want to do is what I see some students do, which is actually go like that. That doesn't relax your hands. Actually, it tenses them. The better thing to do is to hold them out and just stretch your fingers and let them relax. Stretch and relax. Perhaps to do this where you're pushing and relax. To do a few of those shoulder rolls. Oh, that feels good. And the other way. Let your head go slowly around. Don't let it fly around. I don't want it flying off on the floor. Turn it the other way. Nice and slow, relaxed. Shoulder rolls. Stretch those fingers. And then you're ready to ring your bench up and begin your day. So let's build upon that idea of relaxation. And what you're going to work on this week when you do your triads and inversions is to keep your arms and your wrist relaxed. So if I did on page 26 the root position, first inversion, you see the floating quality? Because if you're going to take a tennis ball and throw it up in the air and you hit your tennis racket with it, you wouldn't stop there, right? You'd continue on. The same thing. So take it in groups of 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. See the wrists moving? So it's down and up, ready, down and up, ready. I recommend that you take your hand and guide your wrist that way. And if you'd like to take page 26 and put your pedal down, hold it down, all the way from the beginning until the end of the piece, kind of makes a nice sound. You notice I did not look at my hands. I was looking eyes forward to create that. Third fingers are together on the first chord. The second chord, we have right hand second, left hand third. Then left hand second, right hand third. So they're just opposite. This is together, this is together. Here, right hand 2, left hand 2. So notice those differences. And you should play those triads and inversions in many different keys. That'd be a great way for you to warm up and to feel really relaxed as you drop down on those. You also have the next page where you're doing broken chords. So you're taking the same triad, breaking it, then together. It's a great way of reinforcing your fingerings. Look at the example with the minor key here for a moment, a little trickier. And you'll notice that you have the A minor. And what they're doing then is taking the second degree of the scale, which is B, third degree of the scale would be C, next degree of the scale would be D, next degree of the scale would be E, and in A minor we have a G sharp, so we would use we're down to F. A minor was F natural. When we get to the G, is G sharp. So you're going to go all the way through the whole scale, utilizing those chords, triads, and inversions. On page 28, again, we're working with the same concept, the triad, it's inversion. Going to the next step. Now what I recommend on these pages, you'll notice they're all about triads and inversions. So perhaps day 1 could be this example. Day 2, day 3, and then day 4 being the concluding example. So you're taking the idea of chords and inversions, triads and inversions, and playing them in various forms. This is a good thing for you to think about in pedagogy, of having many activities, many exercises, practicing the concept. So the concept was triads and inversions, many exercises practicing that concept. Think about that as you're thinking about future piano students. In our page 29, we have the G major scale, G harmonic minor, and the arpeggios for both. You do want to practice the harmonic minors because you've done the regular G major scale in the past, but not so much the minor scale. So spend a lot of time practicing those minors. Noticing the fact that third fingers are together. So the G harmonic minor then becomes hopefully you remember from last week that the thumb is moving early. The concept third fingers are together. And that when we had our first and second finger, they were opposite. That still is occurring in this particular scale. For arpeggios, let's work on that. So if I have the G major arpeggio, watch my right hand. I'm taking my left hand and pushing my wrist to remind me that the wrist is one line moving this way, not this way. So it's one line going, following, and then it will come back down. Kind of an important thing for you to think about when you think about teaching your future students how to play scales and arpeggios. The other thing you're noticing is that the thumb is moving early. So if I'm doing the left hand, see that thumb getting ready? So G major. Perhaps one day you want to practice the G major scale, G harmonic minor. Another day practicing G major arpeggio, and then immediately after, G minor. All right, in our harmonization, we're continuing on with the idea of that different chords and different inversions. So you notice here we start with the G major. He says E minor with G in the bass, A minor and root, D major, F sharp and bass. So this one gives you some different positions of chords than you've done in the past. But the thing to watch is to see, this is the chord, E minor, G goes in the bass. So this one's going to be a little bit more challenging. E minor, not there, but G in the bass. So we're moving around a little bit less. I would practice chord, practice that progression until you feel confident, then put right in with it. Then you can break it up. And again, remember the second line was The next example, A major, E7. Here we expect to go back to A, but instead he goes to F sharp minor, E major with G sharp in the bass, and A, E major. So this part is just 5-1, 5-1. So really the only tricky part is the F sharp minor, just in root position there. So we have okay, so what you can do for warm-up is just, there are no D major chords, so it's basically this, except for the one spot where it's F sharp minor. So this piece is significantly easier, bottom example, than the first example. First example is moving a little bit more. Just as a reminder, always on your harmonization pieces, you will play them in the original key and transpose them. Now here it says transpose to the key of F major. You don't necessarily have to go to F major. You can also go to E major or or A major. Try to not always go to C major, please. Try different keys until you get practice at different key areas. I'm going to do a lot more improvisation this year than we've done in the past. On the top of 34, you see the left hand has a 1 chord. We're not going to play 1-6. We'll stay with 1, then a 4, then we'll play 5-7, 4, 1, 5, 1. So every time you see a 1, utilize the 1, 4, and 5, 7. Don't move around. Instead, just stay your normal progression. So your left hand can play a broken pattern based on what it's doing there. The right hand takes and plays the rhythm of the melody notes, and perhaps the easiest way is to take a note within the chord. So I can choose a melody note of F, A, or C. Next measure is still 1. Next measure is a B flat major, so B, D, F. A C major, a B flat major. So maybe my improvisation is the basic form. Now I can get really fun and I can use some passing tones. So as long as you take that, keep the melody rhythm in the left hand and use the rhythm of the right hand. Get the idea? And then you can begin to, after you have that down in your ears, then you can make a whole piece based on that idea. The next example, we have E minor, C major with E in the bass, and let's play a B7 here, and E minor. So E minor, C major with E in the bass, a B7, E. So 1, 5, 1, 1, 4, 5, 1. So get that going in your left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Using the same concept, let's keep with the melody notes of the left hand chord, using this rhythm. maybe we want to do. There I actually added some extra beats at the end. So once you get your idea of the original, then you can start improvising upon it. Okay? So try that out this week, and we'll get really good at improvising so we can use that with our students in the future. As you're working on your literature pieces, I want you to think like a pedagogue again, and to utilize all your theory skills. So you notice here in your left hand, you have F major, and here we have D minor. Here we have a C major chord, and F major. So here you can see I'm blocking the chords to find the positions in that particular area. Now the next line, we notice we started out exactly the same. Then we move here. What chord is this in this measure? F, A, D. Think it in triads, so instead of F, A, D, think D, F, A. D, F, A in the key of F major. F is F, G, A, B, C, D, 6th chord. The next measure is a G7. So G is 5 in the key of C. I think in this semester in theory classes, you guys are learning about secondary dominants. We don't expect a B natural in the key of F. That B natural is altered. So in that moment in time, a G major chord is a 5 of the key of C major. In the key of F, F, G, A, B, C, C is 5. So this is called the 5 of the 5, a secondary dominant to the key of C. So when I was practicing this second line, I would practice that position. So left hand we have D minor, G7 to C. Can you find another secondary dominant? If you look in the third line, F sharp is not in the key. So D, F sharp A, D, F sharp A is a D major chord, which was 5, D, C, B, A, G. 5 above G. Look at there, it goes to G. So in the key of F, G is a second degree, F, G. So it's 5 of the 2, 5 of G minor. So in this case, we have F major, 5 of the G minor. So this whole piece is basically a written out kind of chord progression, and they take a melody and include that. So that really helps when you're learning pieces to notice the scales, the chords. F7 to B flat. So that's my first step in learning the piece, is thinking about the theory of it, the form of it, the fact that the melody repeats and has a change here, and then it basically is the same except for the ending there. So 3 times the right hand plays the same melody. Just this melody line's different in the right hand. And then after I've done that, then I look for similarities. So I see this is same, that's different. This is different. This is like the beginning, but that's different. So you practice the spots that are different. So as you look at this piece, I say the most difficult spot is going to be here. perhaps here going into that, and then here going into this. So if I take that spot, I would practice doing in the left hand until that became comfortable. And then going to the last line, that little progression's a little hard. Practice just doing the top voice. So instead of playing the chord, play just the thumb. Then take just the bottom note. Then the outside. Now add in the middle. Now the whole chord. Then we want to take the idea that we want to make this musical. So our pedal is going to be working. Again, remember that your pedal comes after you play the note, so there is no break. So we have. Did you notice the motion of the hands were fluid and relaxed? There was one spot where the right hand had to move out of position. That was in the second line where I get to the F. So here, instead of 3, I always had 3. Here I have to move to a thumb so I can reach the F. So I would encourage you to circle this thumb, because that's a change. It's always been 3, but that place is a thumb. Circle that spot so you'll be ready to play this. All right, I'm psyched. Remember to always practice carefully, slowly. Think about how you're practicing. Think as a pedagogue. You're not learning all these pieces just to be able to play them, but that someday that you might be able to utilize the skills that you're developing and will be able to help others. So it's important that you think like a pedagogue and have a purpose for every practice session. Good luck. See you next time.